thing we learn as journalists is the tenuous relationship between journalists and government. But here in the United States, we have constitutional protections to allow journalists to go out and do their job, gathering information, informing the public, advocating for important social change. And sometimes, because of the First Amendment and the protections that we enjoy here in the United States, we assume that journalists throughout the world are safe to go where they want to go, to talk about issues, to report on government or business malfeasance, and that they can also be agents of change no matter where they go. But it's not true. And we are reminded of that this evening as we gather here in an effort to free two journalists who are learning all too well how the United States is an island where journalists are protected, where government and journalism work hand in hand, hopefully, to serve the public. And so we are confronted with what represents really a worldwide crisis for journalists. Every year journalists are imprisoned, they risk their lives, and they give their lives in the duty to which they've committed themselves, to gathering information and informing the public. And we've got two young women who are extraordinary, who are brilliant, who stepped into harm's way knowing there were risks, but hoping that the government would be just. We're finding now that the North Korean government is not just, does not extend courtesies, whether professional or otherwise, to journalists. And these two women become victims, really, of tyranny. And I don't think that it can be expressed in any more mild a way. Their rights have been taken away from them, and they need our help. They need help from journalists and government leaders and citizens around the world, standing up tonight saying this is not right, that they deserve an opportunity to plead their case, to return to their countries, take their visas away, tell them that they're no longer welcome in North Korea if you don't welcome an open press. But don't imprison, don't deprive them of basic rights to liberty, and try to do it on a world stage. We are here together tonight to say we will not accept this. We will not sit and allow this government entity to deprive journalists of their rights, to deprive any citizen of their rights. And I understand that these journalists were there to try to shed a light of truth on the human rights abuses in North Korea. And here's an example of it, where their rights have been taken away, I believe unjustly, and where they will need an outcry from all of us in every corner of the world to help free them. And what better place than the United States, where we do have constitutional protections, where we do have a First Amendment that sets us apart from every government and every system on the planet. And if we don't stand up now for their rights, I think we do the world a disservice. What we will say to North Korea or any other abusive government is that it's okay to penalize journalists for just trying to share information with the citizens of this planet. So tonight, we raise that light, and we keep this light shining. We make our voices heard, not just for the cards that we are all signing outside, but we make our voices heard with our congressional delegation, insisting that our U.S. congressional representatives lean on the North Korean government. We pressure our State Department and our White House to not settle and not give in until these two fine journalists are free and home again on U.S. soil. This is the commitment we need to make to one another, not just for these two women, but to protect the rights of journalists and citizens throughout the world.